Okay, let's try one more clip challenge. Pause the video here, play the clip from Benny and June, guess the disorder, then resume the video to compare answers. Even though schizophrenia is the disorder most out of touch with reality, it is also the most diverse disorder. Diverse in possible symptoms, diverse in overall functioning, diverse in meds that are needed. So this video showed schizophrenia, and there's a strong correlation between access to treatment and overall functioning with schizophrenia. So schizophrenia cannot be cured, but it can be managed. The combination of meds and therapy can keep episodes down to a minimum. There was a very successful lawyer on NPR recently who talked about having schizophrenia. Although he keeps his episodes down to a minimum with meds and therapy, he still has them and needs to be institutionalized occasionally. But he is good enough at his work that his clients are tolerant, knowing that another skilled attorney at the firm will manage their cases when this happens. Compare this lawyer, his functioning, to a homeless person with schizophrenia. Homeless people with schizophrenia are often in a chronic state of schizophrenia instead of occasional episodes because of a lack of access to treatment. Now, be aware of the difference between positive and negative symptoms in schizophrenia. Remember that positive symptoms are those added into the psyche that are not normally there. Negative symptoms are those missing from the psyche that are normally there. So what would hallucinations be? Positive or negative? And that would be positive. What about delusions? That would be positive. What about poor social skills? That would be negative. What about lack of grooming? And that also would be negative. The new DSM, which stands for Diagnostic Statistical Manual, tried to get rid of old subtypes of schizophrenia, but many therapists still find them useful and use them. And for this reason, we want you to be familiar with these subtypes. Now, the first one is paranoid schizophrenia, and it is characterized by delusions of paranoia. The second one is disorganized schizophrenia. It is characterized by speech, behavior, and/or cognitions that are bizarre. Now, the most common one here is speech. Okay, and so you know how normally if you say two sentences consecutively, one followed by the other, they're usually related, right? Not necessarily with someone who is having a schizophrenic episode and who has disorganized speech, disorganized schizophrenia. Also, usually the phrases within our sentences are connected in meaning, and not necessarily so with somebody who is in a state of schizophrenia. And then, if that episode is bad enough, the sentence itself can become like word soup. You cannot figure out the associations even between words within a sentence. Disorganized schizophrenia, again, is characterized by speech, behavior, and/or cognitions that are bizarre, and usually we're talking here about speech. Finally, we've got catatonic schizophrenia, the third, and this is characterized by motor disturbances. That means movement disturbances, right? And the most common here is being frozen in position. Now, the last one, undifferentiated schizophrenia, is kind of like the grab bag here, it is characterized by having more than one of the above. So showing symptoms from two or all three of the above would be a different diagnosis, one that is called undifferentiated schizophrenia.